This is not a kid-friendly show.
Yo, what's really good, my dudes? Today is January 16th, 2017. We've got another RuneScape update for you. Oh my god. So today we see the release of the events, Deathbeard's Demise, and the return of Hati and Skoll and Fenrir. Now, Deathbeard's Demise is just like the Fallen Nihil one that we received last year. Now, this is an event where you have a new currency, in this case, phantom doubloons, that you can collect every day up to 1,000 per day through skilling, killing monsters, daily challenges, and treasure trails. You do get a 20% increased drop rate for this phantom doubloons if you're training agility and thieving though. But like I said, you can only collect 1,000 a day, and this currency can be used to purchase new pirate themed overrides and a cannon pet. Now, if you want to get started on this, all you gotta do is talk to Deathbeard south of the Lumbridge crater. There's no other requirements whatsoever. Now, there is a microtransaction element to it where you can spend rune coins to extend your daily cap beyond the 1,000 using the booster shop accessible via the seasonal event tab in the social interface. So up until the 30th of this month, you can continue to collect these new phantom doubloons. After the 30th, he will stick around for another 14 days, but you cannot earn any new doubloons. He'll just be there for you to unlock the rewards or hand in any excess doubloons for these mystery boxes. Now, these mystery boxes will give you various treasure hunter related items. Next up, we see the return of Hati, Skoll, and Fenrir in the Fremennik area. Now, these are pretty powerful wolves that anybody can kill, but doing so gives you a chance at receiving these XP boosting items that will give you a bunch of bonus XP and various skills. Hati will drop the Hati Paws, which will give you XP in a combat skill of your choice. Skoll will give you his pair of boots, which will give you bonus XP in your choice of agility or woodcutting. And finally, Fenrir will give you his Fang, which grants you bonus XP in either herblore or summoning. Also with this, you can earn pieces of Valkyrie Ire's gear, the helmet and spear, and you get these from killing Hati or Skoll. Bear in mind, you'll only get one of the two, and you'll have to get an additional of that item and trade with another player to get the other item. So if you get a helmet, you're only going to ever get helmets, and you need to trade for the spear. Once you do that, speak to Ire by the golden tree, and you will be given the choice to get XP and bonus XP in either prayer or divination. So I'm sure a lot of you know exactly what Hati and Skoll and Fenrir are. They've been around for a long time. They've been a repetitive thing in the beginning of the year. So go out and get your bonus XP, especially since Double XP weekend is right around the corner. They stack with any bonus XP you have, so get on it. So with that out of the way, we can move on to this week's patch notes, and my god, we do have a lot to cover. First off, there's a whole bunch of graphical updates, which I'm not going to really go into. They're graphical updates, but I will show them on screen, so if you really want to see them, pause the video at any point during this section of it and just have a quick read. There is a decent amount of graphical updates, I must say myself. Moving on, just some slight fixes to the Memorial of Gothics. Can't use the memory strand teleport during combat. The bank chest is now slightly northwest. Making memory shard products no longer drops them on the floor if your inventory is full. Engrams now have a teleport option. Pretty interesting stuff. Another thing, players can have a chance of obtaining the farming skilling pet brains from planting crystal tree seeds and harvesting crystal tree blossoms. Additional XP from the demonic skull, while abyss rune crafting now counts towards the chance to receive rune. Who cares? I got it already. Blood Velds are now all melee based, and they're weak to fire spells. Players now need 90 dungeoneering to be able to do the Gold Rush of Blood challenge. There's now a new pet from Carnelian Rising. If you speak to Philip with 200 quest points, and you then return to his mother, you can claim a Red Dragon Wolf Juvenile or Black Dragon Wolf Juvenile with 400 quest points, once 400 quest points are available, obviously, and both can be used as overrides. Next up, the tier 85 Raptor weapons can now all be augmentable. I talked about this previously, it's now in game. Healing Titan Familiars now heal based on maximum life points, just like the Unicorn Stallions, and both no longer drain adrenaline when you use their special. That's interesting to see. You now have the option on the Lumbridge training dummies to set it to switch between guaranteed maximum hit mode, minimum hit mode, or normal mode for player damage. The dummies themselves will automatically switch back to normal after 5 minutes of use. There's been a big change to the Planted Feet perk. It now has the effect that the duration of sunshine and death swiftness is increased by 25%, but they no longer deal periodic damage to your target. This effect is not cancelled by switching weapon with death swiftness or sunshine are in effect. The Planted Feet no longer affects Berserk. That is interesting. Really big news. Planted Feet essentially is going to work exactly the same for magic and range, minus the DOT damage you'd get if they're standing in the range of those things. But melee can no longer benefit from the Planted Feet perk, so that's really interesting. Telos will now drag players into melee distance when casting tendrils if they're outside max range of their equipped weapon. You no longer lose adrenaline when transitioning to phase 5 in Telos. Shadow clones spawned from the Staff of Sliske's special attack will no longer get distracted if in range of an AoE ability. Nightmare creatures will now drop gloves substantially less frequently when they're not a subject of the player's Slayer assignment. Pause the video now if you want to see a quick bunch of hotfixes that did go live throughout last week. They're already in-game, have been in-game, and just pause if you want to check them out. Moving on to more ninja fixes. Players can now display the emotes interface as text and hide the emote icons. Abyssal demons in the wilderness have been moved to south of the Graveyard of Shadows in a multi-combat zone. Demonic Skoll bonus effects now have activated by interacting with any of the activities they in bonus to. It must be equipped in level 20 plus wilderness. Barrow's kill counter overlay now shows when above ground in the Barrows area. Clicking prayers in the quick prayer selection no longer activates those prayers. The ability to drag objects in the looting interface has been removed. It's not possible to reorder this inventory. The zombie farmer and herbal habitat protecting your plants via the right click option has now skips much more of the dialogue. You can now receive the fire making pet from burning curly roots while using the superheat form. Your loot settings interface now features a dungeoneering key loot beam toggle. Prawn crackers are now stackable. If they were previously in your backpack, they will be shown as individual item stacks. To fix this, bank them and withdraw them. Players can now toggle the Varrock sewer warning message once they've entered it 6 times like any other warning message. It is now possible to use the surge ability in the following areas: Fight Cave, Fight Kiln, Fight Cauldrons, Sinkholes, Max Guild, Pest Control, Dominion Tower, Ascension Laboratories, Inside Legio boss fight instances, Stealing Creation, Frost Dragons, QPD, Loot Chamber, Fremennik, Nihil's Muspa, etc., Rush of Blood, Player Owned Ports, Bork, Skeletal Horror, Araxor, and Virago instances outside of the bosses. So that's really interesting. I really hope they start adding Surge everywhere, fix that issue, but it's really good to see these areas being fixed. And finally, we got some NXT and engine fixes. So audio not playing correctly with certain NPCs has been fixed. Environmental particles should no longer sharply cut into the terrain. Dragging item stacks inside player inventory while large bank tabs are open no longer causes dramatic FPS drops. World gate now renders correctly on a world map. Rare audio related crashes have been fixed. Incorrect interpolation in certain cutscenes has been fixed. A bug with shadow occlusion has been fixed. Certain particles that were being reflected on water despite being below the water surface has been fixed. Roofs are now removed properly with water on low, shadows on, and ambient occlusion on. Error with shadows has stopped rendering certain animations has been fixed, and added fixed screen support for Windows only. So that about wraps it up for this game update. Link to the update page and the patch notes. I didn't cover every single patch note, but a link to those will be down below if you want to check it out for yourself. Anyways, if you like the video, hit that like button, and if you like me and you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape, you're already in the right space. Hit that subscribe button and I promise to keep you up to date, my dog. Anyways, thanks for watching. I am out. Peace.